Well, as you can tell from this video, I've just driven 33 miles from home to the ranch where I'm working, and it was like this all the way. So chances are I won't be doing no level or instrument work this morning as far as shooting the depth and everything till this goes away. This fog didn't have no trouble getting here. It just took 30 minutes longer. I probably drove 33 miles from where I live to here. So this is what it looks like in north central Texas this morning. I like the fog just when I don't have to drive in it. It seems like everything's peaceful and everything, and no trouble getting here this morning, except you always meet one or two people that do not turn their lights on, and when you meet somebody it scares you, and then when you're driving and you pull up on somebody that don't have their lights on. My mother-in-law used to always say, "I'll Swanee," and that's what I said, but then I also said you can't fix stupid. So there's just people like that don't care about nobody else, not even themselves, when it's foggy and they don't turn their lights on. So and it was something, the man that I pulled up behind, I hit my brakes, I didn't see him, then he disappeared, and then I turned down the gravel road to come to the gate where I had to go in, and he was stopped in the middle of the road unlocking the gate and no lights on, so I had to go around him again, you know, and I waved at him. I was friendly. So anyway, we're going to head to the bulldozer, and once this kind of blows over, we might set up the camera and do a little video of the tank that we're working on. So we'll check with you later. Well, we're still digging on our tank today, and I was just going to show you something. Before we started the tank, I had taken a hand auger, which dug a hole probably 3.5 inches around, and I went down about 11 foot deep below the surface. And before I started the tank, I had took a clod and wrapped some flagging around it and dropped it in that hole, so when I got to that point I might see the flag and know I was getting at least 11 foot deep. And I just made a pass, and I seen something white, and I kind of knocked the dirt away from it. Here is that flagging that I had dropped in the ground before I started, and it turned up. So it's just amazing how much you're moving dirt, and then all of a sudden you see a little old streak of white, and it's something that you dropped in the hole earlier, and it does show up. You just think that it would be you would never see something that little when you're on a bulldozer in the bottom of a tank. So anyway, we know now that we're probably 11 foot in the ground, and it's starting to get smaller in the bottom, but we're going to continue on to dig and get it down to another 3 foot or so, probably, before the day's over, and we'll just see what it looks like then. So, well, we basically got the tank finished. I like a little bit over here where the other side of the spool is, finishing that off. It's all topsoiled and everything, and this side that you were looking at now is finished and walked in, and it's got grass on the dam. So I'm going to do a little bit of level work and check the depth and be sure that everything's working like it's supposed to, and it's just about ready for a rain to fill it up. So the fog is finally lifting today, and probably going to be a pretty nice day here after a bit. So we're going to do a little bit more level work and get a chance. We'll see the finished product after a while. Good morning. We come to move our dozer this morning. Left the house and the sun was shining nice, the wind wasn't blowing, and we get out here to where we did our last job, and 30 minutes ago it just got so cloudy you had to take my sunglasses off and everything. I was going to film loading up the dozer, but I don't know, because as soon as I pulled into pasture, as you can see behind me, the cows started coming up here. So I'm debating whether to set up my camera and load the bulldozer, let y'all see me loading the bulldozer up, or not. Once I get up on the truck with the bulldozer loading it up, I don't really have a lot of time to jump down and shut the camera off or get the cows out of the way. So we'll see what happens here a little bit. And like I say, we're fixing to move the dozer and head back north into central Wichita County and move to another job. So we'll see what happens and here in a little bit, and won't talk to you. We may talk to you when we get up on the other job site. So okay, I've got the dozer loaded up. I just didn't want to risk it putting the camera up while I was loading it up, but we'll get that on a later video. I backed the dozer up on the truck. You can load it either way. It don't really matter, but it pulls better when it's backed on there because I can get more weight on the truck instead of way back on the trailer. So that's why I do that. If I have my tree grubber on, my blade off, I've got to back it on there because I can't get enough clearance to come up over the back without sticking on the dovetail there. So I'm used to loading it up, backing it on there, so it doesn't really matter a whole lot to me. You might have noticed I've got some tires here behind the track, and what I do with them, I put them underneath the ramps for two reasons. I had them ramps redone probably 3 years ago, and the welder asked me how heavy did he want me to make them. I said, make them where they don't bend. He said, well, you've got to pick them up. I said, oh, I can handle that part. That's no problem. Well, I was just a little over 60 then. I'm 65 now, and about a week after he put them ramps on, loading them up and everything, I figured out what he was talking about. They're heavy, and they got springs you can put on them that'll raise them up for you, but I decided I'm not ready to do that yet. You know, I'm just 65, so sooner or later I'm going to have some help raising the ramps up. But anyway, so what I do, I put them tires under the ramps, and I wish I'd have done that 30 years ago, but what that does, that keeps them from pushing in the ground, and then after I go across them, they raise back up the height of the tires, so that's easier for me to pick them up and everything. So better late than never, I guess. So anyway, we're chained down, got the flags on it and everything, so we're fixing to head out of here and head north back into central Wichita County. So we'll talk to you when we get on the next job then.